again, everybody. We're back, and we're going to continue with adding integers with our practice. I hope you were able to complete the 4 examples here, and let's go over the answers. We have our first player on turn 1 had negative 12 points, and the second turn they had 5 points, so we want to total that up, and we're going to start at negative 12. So I'm going to put a dot at negative 12. Here's our little man. Okay, and we're going to move 5 places forward because 5 is a positive integer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so this is going to be our new location, which is negative 7. If you think in terms of money, just to give yourself a real world example, if you owed $12 and you had $5 in your pocket, you would still owe the person $7. Okay? You don't have enough to get rid of the negative value. You're not to 0 yet. Okay, the second player, we have Dan, starts at negative 15. So negative 15 is here. Okay, and on the second turn, Dan had negative 9. So our move would be to the left, and we're off the number line, but that's okay. We would have to go 9 places to the left. And so we would continue going in the negative direction. So negative 16, negative 17, 9 jumps, and we would end up with negative 24. Again, think about in terms of money. If you owed somebody $12 or $15 and you owed $9 more, think about what operation you're doing there. You're really adding them together. You're adding the 15 and the 9 to get to negative 24. You keep the negative because we are continuing to move in the left direction, in the negative direction, so our answer is still negative. All right, Joy. Joy is at 13, so she's on the other side of 0 to start with. Okay, and she's going to lose 21 points. So if we are going in the left direction, 13 points brings us back to 0. And we're going to keep going. We've got to go to 21, so there's 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And that brings us to negative 8. Okay. Now Kim. Kim is at 25. She's at negative, Kim is at negative 16, which is down over here. It's off my board a little bit, but, whoops, sorry about that. Okay, so negative 16, and we're going to add 25. So 16 would bring us back to 0. We're going to keep going to 25. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 brings us to positive 9. So it looks like Kim is in the lead with 9 points. All right, so as we were talking about, some of our numbers were bigger than our number line. And we have a few rules here that will help you with working with larger numbers. Eventually our number line becomes really just the numbers are too big to use a number line. And so we need to have some rules to help us so that we can mentally add these integers together. So example, or the first rule I should say, is adding integers with the same sign. My example here is -8 plus -9, and that gives you -17. If I was to have a real world example, if you lost 8 points in the card game and you lost another 9 points in the card game, you've lost a total of 17 points. You are continuing to move in the negative direction, and so you end up with a greater negative. It's just like spending money. If you spend $8 and you spend $9, you have spent $17 altogether. The same thing happens with the positives. If you earn $6 and you earn another $7, you are continuing to move in the positive direction. So that number, it becomes a larger positive. So we add and keep the sign. So here's your rule right here. Add and keep the sign when the integers have the same sign. With subtracting integers, or I'm sorry, with adding integers with different signs, you are going to subtract the numbers. You have some good and some bad. You have some earning money and some spending money. So you need the difference there, which is subtraction. You're going to subtract the integers, and you're going to keep the sign of the larger absolute value. Now, we talked about absolute value. Let's look at my examples here with 8 and -5. 8 is a positive number, 5 is a negative number. 1 is positive, 1 is negative, so they have different signs. We subtract the integers. 8 minus 5 is 3, and we keep the sign of the larger absolute value. If I was to take the absolute value of 8, that is 8, and the absolute value of -5 is 5, 8 is larger than 5. So we keep the sign that's with the 8, which is positive. So that's why our 3 here is positive. If I have $8 and I spend 5, the money that you have is larger than the debt that you need to pay. So the end result is positive. The positive number had the bigger absolute value. If I look at my second example, I have -4 plus 3. So they have different signs. 4 is negative, 3 is positive, and I subtract them. 4 minus 3 is 1. And I take the absolute value of each one. The absolute value of -4 is 4, and the absolute value of 3 is 3. So 4 has the larger absolute value. So that means the negative value has to stay with my answer. So my answer is then negative. If I owe somebody $4 and I have $3 in my pocket, I don't have enough money to pay the debt. I'm $1 short of paying the debt, so we keep it negative. Okay, so please use those rules when you do some practice. What I would like you to do now is to try these 4 examples right now in your notes and apply those rules. You might want to use a number line for the first 2. But for the last 2, apply those rules that we just talked about. And you might want to stop or pause this video, try these, and then we'll go over the answers together. What I will do is we will start with these when you come in for enrichment class, and we will go over these together. So give these a shot, work on your homework. If the signs are the same, add and keep the sign. The signs are different, subtract and keep the sign of the larger absolute value. All right? All right, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.